Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss with you regarding the visual management concept. So we want to understand when we consider the organization, it may be manufacturing, service sector, any other organization. Why visual management required? Okay, that is very important part. Visual management create an environment where problems are not tolerated. Create problem-solving ability in all employees. Use visual tool to make abnormal conditions stand out. Address problem immediately. Use scientific method of PDCA to prevent recurrence. So these are the reasons why we want to implement visual management concept in our organization. So, what is mean by visual workplace? Okay, simply we can say workplace that speak to you. That means when we go to the visual workplace, workplace start to speak with us. A visual workplace is a self-ordering, self-explaining, self-regulating, and self-improving work environment. That means no required any other third party people to connect with the workplace for the improvement, because it is okay, visualize everything, then it is based on the visualization, it's arranged in a proper ordering, so it's explaining self explaining there, and also self regulating and self improving. So that is the nature of the visual workplace. Then, when we further elaborate that one, a workplace where anyone know within a few minutes what is happening, who are doing it, where do they do it, and how do they do it, without asking anybody. That is very important. Without asking anybody. Reading manual or turning on a computer. So if we can take understand without asking anybody, reading manual or turning computer. So without all of these things, okay, if we can understand the workplace, okay, what is happening in the workplace, who are doing that thing, then where do they do it, and how do they do it, okay. That means if it is so, what, who, where, how, automatically, okay, without taking someone's guidelines. So this is called visual workplace. Visual workplace. Okay. So visual workplace, okay, it must tells us something through displays, sign and boards. So that means in the visual workplace, there should be different displays, different signboards. Okay. So different signs and also the boards. Then the visuals come. It must help us improve through measurements and target. So in the visual workplace, there can be several visual measurements. When we observe the visual measurements, we can take understanding about what is the expected level, what is the standard level, and what is the current level. So based on that, we can understand the gaps also. So we can work to improve that workplace also. It must guide and control our behavior through standard. That means it may be set up standards. So based on the standard, we have to work based on the standards. So it will support to change our behaviors also within the work. So that's the visual workplace. Okay, right. Now I am going to discuss with you a little bit about the visual management. The very simple way is managing through the visual. So are there any visuals? So if we can manage the workplace, if we can manage the organization with the visuals, then we are telling that is visual management. Visual management. Four principles of visual management. When we talk about the visual management, there are four principles. So from the visuals, so visual management, make it obvious. So one principle is make it obvious. Then make problem visible. That means because of the visuals, whatever the problem, those are coming to the surface. So because of that, we are telling it is make problem visible. At a glance, that means we can't spend much more time. So visual should give us within 1 second, 2 seconds, whatever the information. So because of that, we are telling one of the principle of visual management is at a glance. There must be standard. So there should be some standard, as I explained previously. If the standard available only, we can understand the deviations. So these are the 4 principles of visual management. I would like to tell again, make it obvious, make problem visible at a glance, and there must be a standard. Then when we come into this slide, I think you can see this is called visual triangle. Okay, when we created visual management, visual workplace, then what happened? We see together, whoever the people working in the organization, they can see together what is happening, what is the current condition. Then we know together, okay, we see together. If we can see together, definitely we can understand, we can know about that together. When we see together, when we know together, then what we can do in organization, we can act also together. See together, know together, act together. This is called visual management triangle. This is called visual management triangle. Now, there are some objectives from visual management. There are some objectives. Main 4 objectives I have included in this presentation. The first one is to identify and highlight abnormalities. So if we put some visual management mechanism, it will support us to understand the abnormalities. It is very much required because in the organization, if we highlighted only the abnormalities, then we can take the actions and we can improve. If we can't highlight the abnormalities, there are no any chances to improve. Then the second objective is the elevate problem to support staff quickly. So because of the visual management, as I told previous, problem coming to the surface, then whoever the people want to solve that problem, it communicate to them very quickly, very quickly. The third objective is to communicate abnormalities constantly to team members. So because of different type of visuals, it's happening constantly. Okay, there are some visuals, it may be some lights also. So through the lights, whatever the board, okay, so that whatever the differences, whatever the abnormalities, communicate constantly to the team members, whoever the people working on the floor. The last objective is to trigger problem solving. So trigger problem solving because of the problem coming to the surface, then people want to solve the problem because responsible person can't stay without solving the problem. Then it will create some constructive pressure on the people who has to make some solutions. So it will support to trigger the problem solving also. So what are the objectives of visual management? Main 4 objectives: to identify and highlight abnormalities, to elevate problems to support staff quickly, to communicate abnormalities constantly to team members, to trigger problem solving. This is called visual pyramid. I think you can see this one. This is like a pyramid. The what is called that foundation level, you can see it's mentioned safety. So how we can assure safety? We can arrange workplace based on the 5S and basic compliances. So because of that, we can assure the safety. Then we have to move for the visual displays. Okay, so visual displays, you can see here, tell only. So someone can take whatever the things we are representing through the visual displays. It's depend on the people interest also, because our objective is tell only. So from the visual displays, we can share the information, and also we can share some set of the standards. So we are sharing, the audience can take based on their interest. Because of that, we can tell it is tell only. So after the visual display, we can see the visual controls. Okay, visual control means something happened and calls your attention. Okay, that means it will change your behavior. It will change your working pattern. Okay, so from the visual control, we can change your behavior. So from the visual control, build standard into the workplace, warn about the abnormalities. Then when warned about the abnormalities, people working to stop the abnormalities. That means prevent defect from moving on. Okay, so it will be change the organization behavior as well as the people working in the organization. So after that final stage, it is called prevent mistake error proofing. In Japanese language, we can tell that as a mistake pokai. Okay, it is defect are impossible. That means whatever the possible things to create the defects, by using the pokai error proofing, we are going to prove. That means it's convert into the defect are impossible. So I would like to go through the visual pyramid very quickly again. The what is called the foundation, safety, 5S workplace organization support to assure the safety. So visual display, we can share the information, share standard at the side. Then when we come into the visual control, build standard into the workplace, warn about abnormalities, then stop the abnormalities. Then the ultimate level is POCAI, mistake proofing. Then, okay, we are going to prove the abnormalities. So visual displays, it is tells only. When coming to the visual controls, something happen and calls on your attention, that means it will support to change your behavior. Then when coming to the prevent abnormalities, POCAI case, okay, it is defect are impossible. That means it will create the proof. It will create mistake proofing. So this is called visual pyramid. This is called visual pyramid. Then when we talk about the visual management, mainly there are three elements: visual displays, visual measurements, visual controls. Okay, these are the three elements of visual management: visual displays, visual measurement, and visual controls. Okay, so visual displays, it can be divided into main two parts. Okay, so through the visual displays, we can share general plant information, as well as we can share specific work instructions also. These are the examples for visual displays which we can use in the organization: policies, SOPs, safety warnings, compliance-related information, quality points, customer requirement, standardized worksheet, STW, SWS, flow diagram, process maps, status board, activity board, storyboard. Those are we can categorize under the visual displays. Some of them are general plant information, some of them are specific work instruction. So all those are we can categorize under visual display. Visual display is one of the major element of the visual management. Then what is the second element of visual management? That is called visual measurement. From the visual measurement, visual display of change in the KPI. So through the visual measurement, we can display the key performance indicators. This will ensure data-driven decision making. Because of the key performance indicators visualized, everyone can understand what is the expected and what is the actual level. So because of that, it will create the data-driven decision-making culture. It shows change in the state of any process. So time by time, it will show the change in the status also. So purpose of visual measurement, why we want the visual management? These are the purpose. It shows progress at a glance, problem identification, drive and fine-tune the improvement activities to communicate status across the function to understand trend over time. So from the visual measurement, we can understand the trends also. I highlighted that point because rather than depend on the individual data, if we can take decision based on the form trend, okay, it will support you to get the very correct, exact decisions. Okay, so this is about the visual measurement. Then when we talk about the visual measurement, according to the lean manufacturing, most of the time we are focusing under the SQDCM mechanism. S means safety, Q mean quality, D mean delivery, C mean cost, and M mean morale. So under the safety, there are some examples. Okay? There can be so many visual measurements, but I have put some examples. Safety, number of accident may be, number of near misses. When coming to the quality, right first time, roll throughput yield, customer complaints. When coming to the delivery, order fulfillment, on-time delivery. So when coming to the cost per hour, cost per minute, cost of failure, cost of quality, whatever the thing we can take. Okay, then under the morale, number of suggestions given, implemented, absenteeism, whatever the thing. So these are the some kind of example for visual management we can use in our organization under the SQDCM mechanism. Then the third element of visual management is visual controls. What is visual control? What is visual control? It alert employees regarding the specific action required, because already we know from the visual controls, it will support to change the behaviors of the people and the organization. So it alert employees regarding the specific action required. Device or mechanism to control the operation or process. So visual control sometimes may be a device, electronic or some kind of device. Sometimes it may be a mechanism. Anyway, it may be a device or mechanism. It will support to control the operation or process. Effective communication of information. So through the visual control, it will create the effective communication source. So those are the three elements of visual management. Again, I'm telling what are those three elements. Okay, what are those three elements? We'll go upward. Okay, then again, we can see visual displays, visual measurement, and visual controls. Visual display, visual measurement, and visual controls. Now, I would like to little bit talk about error proofing. In Japanese, it is called pokayoke, if not mistake proofing. Pokayoke strategies eliminate human error from your process so that defect never get to customers, meaning that your processes are more productive and profitable. So there are so many pokayokes in our day-to-day life also. When we consider the washing machine, if we not properly close the door of washing machine, it will not create. So that means it creates some pokayoke. Because if the door open and washing machine operate, then it can be some issues whoever the person has to happen. So that eliminate, so that is some kind of pokayoke. When we consider the auto gear vehicle, before we start the vehicle, we have to put the gear into the parking mode. So if it is in a parking mode only, we can start. So that is eliminate also some issue. So that is also some kind of pokayoke. When we consider our mobile SIM, I think you can remember there is a special shape of mobile SIM. It is not the square. It is not the rectangle. It has some special shape. Why? Then people can insert the SIM without any issue. That is also prokaryotic. When we consider in our apparel industry, there can be several gauges, there can be several holders we are using to prove the, eliminate the mistakes. So those are also we can consider as a Poka-yoke. Then these are the benefit of error-proof in Poka-yoke. Reducing training time. So it is reducing training time. It is automatically provide the good condition. So people can't make a damage if they want also. So it's proved. So reduce the training time. So improve the productivity. Sorry, improve the safety also. So reduce the waste. Okay, reduce the waste mean it is connected with the higher productivity. The finally promoting culture of continuous improvement also. So these are the benefit which we can gain through the error proofing. Okay. So these are the things today I thought to discuss with you under the visual management. So we'll go to one by one all slides one time. Then it will be some kind of refreshment. Actually, we talk about the visual management. Okay. So already we have discussed about why visual management, why it is required. Then visual workplace mean workplace that speak to you. That is the simple definition. Then in the visual workplace, we can understand, we can feel what, who, where, how within the very limited, very short time period. Then visual workplace, it must tells us something through display, signs and boards. It must help us improve through measurement and targets. It must guide and control our behavior through the standard. Then visual management, simply we can say managing through visual. Okay, that is the visual management. There are 4 principles of visual management. This is called visual triangle. We see together, we know together, and we act together. These are the 4 objectives of visual management. Then this is called visual pyramid. In visual pyramid, you can see safety, visual display, visual controls, and the Poka-yoke also there. Okay. These are the elements of visual management: visual display, visual measurement, and visual controls. So visual display, okay, what is mean that? What are the examples? Then visual measurement, what are the example according to the SQDCM mechanism? Then the visual controls, okay, the finally Poka-yoke. These are the benefits. So I think now you may have some good understanding about the visual management mechanism. So please subscribe my channel, so then you can see several important videos within next few weeks also. I'm expecting to meet you in another video as soon as possible. Till that, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.